And you must understand that even within the Greys, there are actually many different factions that have slightly different agendas and slightly different ways of looking at things.
Yes, I'm wondering how many different agendas and groups might there be?
Within the overall collective of the Greys, there are actually 5 different agendas. One will be, as has been said, a more advanced level of the Greys, what you might call a more futurized level of the Greys. One will be one more contemporary to you, and one will be much more primitive in terms of time frame. 3 different time frames of Greys are interacting with each other because they have the ability to slip through interdimensional time. Talk about confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But since they are of one mind, it is not necessarily as confusing for them as it might be for all of you on an individual level. The other 2 have to do with fluctuations within the more primitive and the moderate or middle level of Greys. The futuristic Greys are relatively cohesive in their understanding of what they are doing. But in the contemporary level and in the more primitive level, there are also splits about how to go about doing what they're doing, whether or not even to go about doing what they're doing with regard to their relationship to you, your relationship to them, and the whole idea of the creation of the hybrids in terms of what that ultimately will do for them, for you, and so forth. There are, in their eyes, many different important issues to discuss with regard to what it is and why it is they are even interacting with you. The number 5 has to do with the number of humanity. And thus, this is what they are exploring in their own way, is opening the gateway of what, for lack of a better term, might be something that you would recognize as the reclamation of their humanity, so to speak.